Good afternoon. Please take a moment to silence your cell phones. To respect all in attendance, please refrain from moving to the stage to take photographs. Professional photographs will be available. For your convenience, and if necessary, during the ceremony, childcare is available downstairs in the Robertson Room. Thank you and enjoy the ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Capitol Theater and the 6th Annual Commencement for Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, College of Osteopathic Medicine. The processional will begin in a few moments. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand for the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences ceremonial mace carried by Dr. James Keene, Chair of the COM Faculty Council. The arrival of the mace marks the official opening of the commencement ceremony for the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences College of Osteopathic Medicine. We ask that you remain standing for the procession of the platform party and the presentation of the colors.
Color guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. How was that national anthem? Good afternoon. My name is Dr. Thomas Scandalis, and I am the Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. I am so honored to welcome all of you here today as we recognize and celebrate the class of 2017 with this hooding ceremony. Today is truly a sentinel occasion, and along with your family and loved ones, we recognize your accomplishments and celebrate your success. You stand out in our minds for your pride and professionalism, for your commitment to excellence, for your enthusiasm, determination, and for your dedication to your patients, as well as to the communities to whom you've reached out and served, and in particular, for your ability to see a challenge as an opportunity. These qualities have in no small measure led you to this ceremony today, and these qualities will serve you well in the next phase of your training and beyond. You've already accomplished a goal that is very difficult to achieve, becoming a doctor of osteopathic medicine. As you become an osteopathic physician, you'll come to know that it's not a job or even a career, it's a calling. You'll be charged with awesome and seemingly never-ending responsibilities and blessed with rewards that are greater than money and status, although those things are nice as well. But you also come to understand that being a physician is not a role we play. It's not only what we are, it's who we are. It's an inseparable part of us that doesn't leave us when we take off the white coat at the end of a long day or night. No other profession is so revered. Today, I stand before the future of osteopathic medicine. Embrace it, enhance it, and protect it. As osteopathic physicians, you'll bring an invaluable and distinctive perspective to medicine, as is practiced in the United States, and increasingly as is practiced around the globe. Healthcare would be diminished without osteopathic medicine, and we are so proud to have you represent our school and our profession. At this time, I would like to introduce a member of the graduating class, Priya Selvam, who will share a moment of reflection.
Dear faculty, friends, family, and fellow graduates, wow, we did it! We endured 4 long years of sleepless nights, endless exams, and of course, epidemiology. But the most important lesson I learned in medical school was not actually during the countless hours spent studying in the library, but at the Union Gospel Mission's Free Medical Clinic right here in Yakima. The first time I volunteered as a student doctor, I was so nervous. The patient I was going to see was here for a diabetes check, but she was Spanish speaking, so she brought her 9-year-old daughter to help interpret. I walked into the exam room, greeting both of them, and started asking the usual questions. When were you diagnosed with diabetes? How often do you check your blood sugars? What do they usually run? She couldn't really give me any concrete answers. So I figured, all right, maybe she didn't get any diabetes education. And being the dutiful medical student I was, I dived into a long monologue about lifestyle changes, including diet and exercise. However, when I saw her face and how confused she looked, I had to take a step back. I had to put myself in the patient's shoes. How would I feel being at a free medical clinic? How would I feel not getting consistent care? How would I feel being bombarded with so much information that had to be processed and passed down through my 9-year-old child. It just didn't feel right. So I stopped and asked her, "This is a lot to take in. What can I do to help you?" The patient hesitated and then said in Spanish, "Well, it would be nice if we had a place to stay." And I remember her daughter looking down at the floor as she interpreted. Too often, we walk into an exam room and only see a disease. Too often, we see a physical ailment and the patient sitting in front of us becomes invisible. We do not take into account that she may be running from an abusive spouse, that she cannot afford the medications we prescribe, that no one ever actually taught her what diabetes is, and that she wasn't offered adequate language services. Without these key elements, how can anyone understand, let alone take care of themselves? And sometimes, even basic disease management just isn't practical. How could I tell this homeless diabetic patient running from her abusive husband, "Why don't you eat more vegetables? Why don't you do more exercise?" when she doesn't know where her next meal is going to be? Thankfully, in this case, all I had to do was connect her with the on-site women's shelter where she could safely stay with her daughter. A few weeks later, we reconnected and talked about her diabetes, creating a game plan moving forward. But it's not always an easy solution. As physicians, we're in and out, running later and later for every 15-minute appointment. And once that patient is out of our office or off the operating table, they are on their own. So as students, now graduates of osteopathic medicine, a path of medicine that epitomizes holistic care, we must do more. We must do more to try and address the mental, social, and economic challenges of our patients' lives. It is up to us to work with our patients and empower change. Osteopathic physicians, we are the future of medicine, treating the whole patient, not just their disease. Thank you.
Priya, would you mind coming up and just giving the rest of my comments, please, because I can't follow that. It is both a privilege and an honor to introduce the president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, Dr. Keith Watson.
Thank you so much, Dr. Skandalis. As president of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences, and on behalf of the Board of Trustees, faculty, and staff, I'm delighted to welcome you to this special occasion. New beginnings are always exciting and challenging, and PNWU and its College of Osteopathic Medicine are no exception. Many groups and individuals have contributed to these early successes and to solving these challenges which a new institution has faced. I'm honored to work with such individuals and to work with such a fantastic board, administration, faculty, and staff. Visionary leaders of the past and present have led us to this point. We honor today our newly appointed trustee emeriti whose vision and early efforts established PNWU. Once a board member's active service has ended, we now have a practice of awarding emeritus status. A special medal is awarded in recognition of extraordinary service to the university. The most recent addition to this status is Dr. Michael Maples, who's completing his service to the board in June. Unfortunately, he could not be with us today, though he received his status medal last evening. The role of a trustee involves serious work and a significant time commitment, not to overlook significant monetary gifts and fundraising activities, as we commend Dr. Maples for his dedication and vision to establish PNWU. Likewise, visionary faculty cast their fortunes and futures with us to participate in an exciting new adventure, Some quote to me that they saw a pile of dirt when they first arrived in Yakima, and now look at PNWU and its campus. We're extremely grateful for their dedication, their perseverance, and their willingness to step up and help us establish this College of Osteopathic Medicine. I would like to recognize some distinguished guests who are with us here this afternoon. I'm going to ask that as they stand, that they stand as I introduce them and remain standing. If you will hold your applause until all of our guests have been introduced, it will be helpful. I'm pleased to recognize representative members of the current Pacific University of Health Sciences Board of Trustees who are with us today. Heather Phipps, DO. Christopher Clark, DO. John Vornbrock. Jim Haven, MD. Vaughn Bullfinch, DO. Priscilla Cadwell. Dennis Fulton. Bruce Kinney. Joe Wilczek, and Vicki Ibarra, PhD. Other members of the platform party include Dr. Larry Larson, Chairman of the PNW Board of Trustees, Dr. Edward Bilski, Provost of the University, Dr. Michael Scott, President of the Washington Osteopathic Medical Association and Assistant Professor of Clinical Medicine, Dr. Marie Cadwell-Meyer, member of the PNW Alumni Association and a graduate of our first class, Dr. Brandon Isaacs, Associate Dean for Postdoctoral Education, Dr. James Keene, Chair of the Faculty Senate and Associate Professor of Osteopathic Principles and Practice, Dr. Mark Cody, Assistant Dean of Clinical Education, Dr. Stephen Laird, Associate Dean for Student Affairs, Dr. Anita Showalter, Associate Dean of Clinical Education, and Dr. Robert Sorrells, Associate Dean for Preclinical Education. Also joining us are our honorary hooders, Dr. Bill Elliott, Dr. Tom Eglin, Dr. Emily A. Strike, Dr. Ramos Diaz, and of course, Dr. Tom Skandelis, who's Dean and Chief Academic Officer of the College of Osteopathic Medicine. We're also very pleased to welcome our keynote speaker for this afternoon's commencement, Dr. John Bassett, President of Heritage University. Let's give them a round of applause. Please be seated. I would also like to welcome and have you recognize several other important members of our audience. My wife, Maureen Watson, is here. Ms. Kay Bassett is here. And Dr. John Cadwell, one of our early supporters, is also in the audience with us today. Trustee emeriti that are present, I would like for you to stand as well. I see several in the audience. If you will stand and let us recognize you as an emeritus board member, we'd appreciate it. Thank you. Karen Hyatt, particularly, thank you. At this time, we'd also like to personally thank and recognize some very important individuals, our legislative members, for their immeasurable support of PNWU. As you know, we are a private, not-for-profit medical school. But despite that, our local legislative group and our federal group have supported us in innumerable ways, and for that we're grateful. Senator Curtis King, Senator Jim Honeyford, Representative Bruce Chandler, Representative David Taylor, Representative Norman Johnson, and Representative Gina McCabe. Many legislators across Washington and the Pacific Northwest stand in support of PNWU. We're deeply indebted to Senators Murray and Cantwell for their support. Also joining us today for family reasons, the Brigadier General John Toohey is in the audience. We applaud your presence here. Thank you so much for attending. I'm now honored to invite Dr. Larry Larson, Chairman of the Board of Trustees, to the podium. Dr. Larson.
Thank you, Dr. Watson. First, you must know I'm a pediatrician, so babies, please make noise. It's comforting. Faculty, administration, guests, families, friends, and honored graduates. Well, congratulations to the class of 2017 from the PNWU Board of Trustees. We know through great effort, dedication, your intelligence, and sacrifice, you have accomplished an incredible feat. You're now physicians, and for this you have our admiration and our respect. The Board of Directors, along with the team at PNWU, are here to ensure excellence in your education. You have a strong platform of basic sciences mixed with clinical rotations, and osteopathic philosophy. This has been accomplished, and your years at PNW now have prepared you well for the next steps to becoming a clinician. Looking at your class after completing 4 years that have been very tough, it reminds me of a quote from Dr. Seuss. Go figure, a pediatrician, and a quote from Dr. Seuss. You're in pretty good shape for the shape you are in. You were chosen to be a part of the class of 2017 from 4,000 plus candidates that applied. So we were confident from the start that you were good. We now know after meeting you and educating you that you are great. And on this day, take some well-deserved time to savor the victory of medical school graduation. Enjoy your family, friends, and classmates. A few thoughts from an osteopathic physician. Honor the trust of patients, stay hungry for knowledge, maintain that intense desire to always learn and improve throughout your career, serve our profession, and stay humble, for there is a thin line between the clinician and the patient. As you enter the next phase of your career, work on maintaining your friendships with your classmates and try to forgive the ones that quote unquote bugged you. You know who they are. They will be your support in the future. Return to PNWU to support our mission and return to the Northwest to practice. We need you. Your class will see about 500,000 patient visits per year. When you think about it, that's an incredibly impactful event that will improve the health of the Pacific Northwest population. Now you know there's much more work to be done before you can practice medicine. We give you our best wishes to you and your residency. The PNWU Board of Trustees congratulate the PNWU graduating class of 2017. Thank you. Dr. Watson.
I would now like to invite Dr. Michael Scott, President of the Washington Osteopathic Medical Association and Assistant Professor of Clinical Medicine. And following that, Dr. Marie Cadwell-Meyer, a member of the PNW Alumni Association, to bring greetings to our graduates.
President Dr. Watson, graduates of the class of 2017, you look great. Really, you look really good. And honored guests, it's a special honor and privilege for me on behalf of the entire membership of the Washington State Osteopathic Medical Association to congratulate you on your great achievement on becoming doctors of osteopathic medicine. As you enter the next stage of your professional experience, be creative and have compassion in everything that you do. Science and technology are changing the practice of medicine, and you will be challenged to keep up. As you move through your residency and enter your chosen careers, treat each other the way you would want to be treated, with professionalism and respect. Use your creative minds and work as a team in caring for your patients. And on a good team, all your colleagues will support you, particularly the nurses. People like to work with people they like. My family has always been my stiffest critic and most loyal supporter. Be open to lifelong learning. The energy and spirit of the students I teach here inspire me to keep informed about my own specialty, dermatology, and the wider areas that it'll impact. I would like to share with you a few things that helped me so far in my career. Always remember that the patient comes first, and the doctor-patient relationship is the essential element we can be most proud of. Listening to your patients is the starting point of great patient care. Every patient has a story to tell, and everyone you care for has feelings, dreams, and fears, as we all do. Don't use a big wrench when you don't have to. Compassionate patient relationships are often the best. We've been doing social networking for a long time. It's just a term that is used today to describe it. So participate in your community activities, become involved in your professional and state medical associations, and become outstanding advocates as leaders. You can make a difference. Contact me if you need a place to start. All the members of my study group as a resident remain good friends to this day. Finally, be humble, be curious, be patient, laugh a lot, and celebrate with your families. Most importantly, enjoy the new life that you have entered. Congratulations, class of 2017.
I walked across this stage 5 years ago as a member of PNWU's inaugural class of osteopathic medical students. A lot has changed since then. Back then, Terrace Heights had just one stoplight. The bike ride from home to Butler Haney Hall was uphill in both directions, no matter where you lived. And skinny coyotes wandered the parking lot, looking for dropped bits of energy bars between classes. But inside those walls were 75 medical students, completely surrounded by the support of a nascent university. We relied on our faculty, our staff, our families, and each other to forge the path into what felt like a vast unknown. On graduation day, we stood backstage, giving each other hugs and high fives and saying, "We did it. We did it." And here you are today, continuing the legacy of your forebears, and I hope acknowledging the immense amount of support and sacrifice your family and friends gave you to help you achieve this goal. Graduates, I'm honored to welcome you to the family of osteopathic physicians and to the PNWU Alumni Association. The Alumni Association is here to keep you plugged into the mothership and to provide connections with people and programs to help you navigate life as a medical professional. The Alumni Association is made up exclusively of people like you and me who have walked the very same paths you are on and who may actually be living in the towns and cities you're moving to soon. 5 of you are going to my old residency, so we better connect. So get connected and stay connected with your PNWU family of physicians. Remember that you're not in this alone, that there are more and more PNWU graduates all around you, and that the Alumni Association is here for you.
Thank you, Dr. Scott and Dr. Cadwell-Meyer. I would like now to invite Ben Benitez, the president of the class of 2017, to give his remarks.
Welcome. We are honored that you have chosen to take the time and effort to spend this momentous day with us. First and foremost, my classmates and I offer our sincerest thank you for every visit, meal, phone call, letter, text, hug, thought, prayer, positive vibe, care package, word of encouragement, and shoulder to cry on. We hope that today you can feel a sense of pride in knowing that you have played a huge role in our journey up to this point. It is often said that home is where the heart is. If this is true, it leads me to an important question. If home is in fact where the heart is, where are the rest of the vital organs? What it should say is home is where the heart, kidneys, liver, lungs, and brain are. Well, eyes are important too. So is skin, reproductive organs. Let's just say it's all important. Home is where all of your body parts are. What is home? Is home a building? Is home a geographic area? Is home the title of an animated movie about small purple aliens that my son likes to watch over and over again? Home can be considered many things, But what seems most universally true is that home is important to people. It is what drove an 83-year-old man to remain living at the base of Mount St. Helens despite knowing it would soon erupt. Home is what people often desire when they're sick or nearing the end of their lives. In the next few minutes, I want to challenge the traditional concept of home. Prior to leaving my house on the first day of medical school, my wife, Jenny, gave me this handcrafted note. At the end of it, she included this line, "Don't forget where we live." When I read this, I had to laugh because I knew that she had intended it to be somewhat serious, but mostly humorous. Throughout the next several years, this phrase would have a profound effect on me and strongly influence the way that I chose to prioritize things in my life. It also inspired me to think differently about home in the following ways. First, home is not just a building. One definition describes home as any place of residence or refuge. Home can be a building. It can also be a person or group of people, a place, a thought, a feeling, a belief, a standard, or a principle. We must take time to stop and consider what we find truly important. Then commit it to memory, write it down, email it to yourself, or even cross-stitch it and hang it on a wall so that we can know where to return when challenges arise and when things get difficult. Furthermore, by doing this, we are better able to prioritize the things that we find important. And this prioritization becomes much more essential when life grows busier and more complicated. Second, home is found in relationships. Author Robin Hobb writes, "Home is people, not a place. If you go back there after the people are gone, then all you can see is what is not there anymore." People can be frustrating. People can push our boundaries. People can violate our trust by posting satirical articles on Facebook that we mistake for being real. But it is people who keep us striving, who hold us up, who inspire us to do better and be better, and in some cases help us to be better informed by motivating us to take the time to research whether an article is real or not. Our relationships help us through difficult times and help us achieve great things. However, not everyone has the kind of support that we in this auditorium have, which leads me to my third and final point. Home, no matter the form it takes, serves as a shelter. The Dalai Lama once said, "Home is where you feel at home and are treated well." A home should not only serve as a comfort and refuge for us at the end of the day. It should also be a place for the weary, the lost, the sick, the afflicted, and the broken to rest their heads. In strengthening ourselves and our own concept of home, we can create a better environment for those around us. And we carry this with us no matter where we go. I firmly believe that it is our responsibility, not only as medical school graduates or attendees of a graduation ceremony, but as human beings, to look out for, defend, and lift up those who are downtrodden, those who have no voice, and those who stand in need. Poet and political rights activist Maya Angelou once wrote, "I long as every human being to be at home wherever I find myself." What is home? Home is, in fact, the title of an animated movie about small purple aliens that my son likes to watch over and over again. It is also an auditorium full of dedicated and loving family, friends, faculty, and staff. Home is one person standing firm in defense of another. It is a physician who takes time to treat a patient as if they were their own family member. Home is a heroic, courageous, and selfless woman who took the time to write a personalized note for her unsure husband on his first day of medical school. Thank you, Jenny. As we all leave this auditorium today and disperse to our various regions of the country, I hope that we can create home wherever we go and build it in a way so that we don't forget where we live. Congratulations on your achievements, friends. I have experienced firsthand that you are each an unparalleled force for positively impacting the lives around you. I look forward to seeing the good you create. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I would now like to take a moment to recognize individuals who received awards at last evening's reception at Butler Haney Hall. Congratulations to Erin DePreckle. She is the recipient of the Dr. and Mrs. Fred Tinning Osteopathic Principles and Practice Award in honor of our past chair of OPP, Dr. Millicent T. Tamble. This award recognizes students who have excelled in OPP and who are committed to applying osteopathic skills into their primary care practices throughout their careers. Congratulations, Erin. Congratulations to Andrea Miller for receiving the American Osteopathic Foundation Donna Jones Moritsugu Memorial Award. Andrea is the spouse of Tien Ho. This award recognizes the spouse of a graduating osteopathic medical student who best exemplifies the role of a professional's partner by providing immeasurable support of his or her spouse. Congratulations, Andrea. And congratulations to all of the recipients for awards and scholarships during last night's awards and open house. Each year, the graduating class elects one member of their class to give the graduation address. This year, I would like to congratulate and invite Stacy Rittmuller to offer her reflections back on the past 4 years of medical school.
Dean Skandalis, respected faculty and staff, fellow graduates, congratulations. Standing here today, it's hard to believe this day has arrived. It feels like just yesterday that we were in Dr. Shear's pathology CAL. You know, when your photo flashes up on the screen and his voice beckons overhead. Fräulein? Thinking about how far we've come since those CILs, I imagine your heart swells with pride and relief, but hopefully not with palpitations, like my own would be if it weren't for Farm 599, session number 37 on the merits of beta blockade. Whether you are the next in a long line of physicians, or like me, are the first in your family, there are things that you can learn only through experience. The lectures of Doctors Elliott, A. Strike, and Rhodes were just a glimpse of the proverbial fire hose of information. Behind our comprehensive lectures was a hidden curriculum, starting, of course, with finding the ideal study space and learning the etiquette for dealing with 130 plus stressed adults in panic mode every few weeks. As we learned how to utilize every spare minute, we also experienced the counterintuitive benefit of stepping away from the books. Working side by side with so many of you, we found value in immersing our time in something other than ourselves and turned our attention to serving the Yakima community. This provided a perspective we could only glean outside of the classroom, and one that helped us push through the material. The learning curve continued after leaving our familiar campus routine. In OB, we realized that intrapartum cervical checks required perseverance and that shoe covers were not optional. In pediatrics, we learned that kids are not just little adults and there's reason to wash your hands a lot. Then, the golden rules of surgery: eat when you can, sleep when you can, and don't touch the pancreas. Internal medicine, we did everything possible to channel Doctors Elliott and Salinas, even thinking stepping up our wardrobe game would help. It didn't. During psych, we realized how simple comments such as suggesting one of the office photographs was upside down was in fact not helpful to anyone, except to maybe reveal your own obsessive tendencies. In emergency medicine, our minds felt like they were scanning board prep videos on double speed, and our days off were spent doing extreme sports to relax. Last but not least, family medicine. a grab bag of all the above. No pressure to choose your own adventure because you can have them all. As we branched out in fourth year, we put too many miles on our cars and determined the end of interview season to be when our suit no longer fit. This was a year to hone skills, cement theory, and experience where we fit in the scheme of it all. We rediscovered how to stay grounded and connected with life outside of medicine by climbing the tallest peaks, participating in jigsaw puzzle competitions, being an active civic voice, and protecting time to be with family and friends. Looking back, these 4 years were as much a blur as they had pristine moments of clarity. Taking my white coat photo in Cadwell, standing with my anatomy lab group next to our first patient, the first time I saw the heart, the solidarity I felt with my study partners during long study sessions, the first baby I delivered, the first patient I cared for with a terminal diagnosis, and each patient whose only option was to now receive comfort care. Our development through it all is truly remarkable. However, we would be mistaken if we didn't recognize that part of our growth was rooted in loss. More than the loss of our first patient, we've had our worlds rocked by the loss of people close to us. Faculty, family members, friends, and our classmate, Chris Tratz, a veteran who so deftly connected with other veterans and demonstrated determination, perseverance, and sincerity. We've reserved a seat in his honor here with us today. These physical losses blurred the lines between personal and professional and shook us to the core. Each of these monumental losses deserve conversations of their own. Today, however, there's another aspect of loss that I hope we can turn our attention to, one that is insidious, but equally crucial to our well-being and education going forward. It is a loss of confidence in ourselves. Maybe you felt this on our first day, surrounded by peers with diverse and impressive backgrounds who seem to have it all together, and our minds sowed a seed of doubt that maybe we don't belong. For others, it picked up as we assumed more clinical responsibility, and we were humbled by how much there is still to learn. Maybe it swelled in full force in certain situations, as it did for me when I was asked to address you all today. My guess is that at some point you experienced those thoughts of, I'm not qualified to be here, someone else should be making this call, holding this scalpel, delivering this bad news, or making this speech. Regardless, how many realize that opening up to your peers helped to dissolve the isolating feelings of self-doubt? By revealing our struggles or perceived shortcomings, as vulnerable as it felt, we allowed people to show up for us in ways that we could never imagine. Think about how much more you can do when a patient shares something vulnerable to them. With that trust, you're able to meet them where they are and say, I see you, let's fix this together. Much like the courage shown by our patients, let's continue to foster similar openness with our peers so together we can build strength and resilience. Let us also be honest with ourselves and recognize our shortcomings without letting them paralyze us, balancing the confidence to say, I've got this, and the humility to know when to ask for help. We can't do it alone, and when we realize we don't have to pretend, we will be better for it. But of course you know that, and if you doubt it, look around. We are surrounded by people who believe in us, people to whom we owe a tremendous amount of gratitude for helping us walk across the stage today. We have our professors and mentors who guided us, classmates who held us up when we needed a figurative or sometimes literal leg to stand on, friends who helped remind us about life outside of medicine, and of course our family who provided unwavering support even when they probably felt like we took them for granted. Please remember to take extra time to acknowledge all those close to us have sacrificed, as they too deserve celebration. We expected them to understand the pressure of having to learn everything from the minutiae to the art of medicine. We got irritable when all they wanted to do was share a meal with us and made them feel like their plans had to revolve around ours. We have asked our loved ones to do extraordinary things, and we would not be here without their support. On behalf of our class, I want to say a sincere thank you to those here with us today in flesh or in spirit, who have pushed us to find something inside ourselves we didn't know we were capable of, those who lifted us up when we doubted ourselves, and those who kept us grounded when we got ahead of ourselves. In closing, we were reminded today about the honor and privilege it is to be a physician, not to mention the sobering reminder that in just a few weeks, our responsibilities to our patients will increase exponentially, which requires diligence, discipline, and self-sacrifice. Throughout this, let's remember that medicine isn't everything. Stay involved, keep your eye on the bigger picture, don't lose sight of the simple things that rejuvenate you. And above all, as you find yourself holding that scalpel, presenting a complicated ICU patient, scrolling through a CT with a strange abnormality, faced with a massive trauma in ED, delivering your 5th baby in an overnight shift, or managing a complicated psych patient, know that you are enough, that you are strong and capable, and that you are not alone. Let's care for each other as colleagues and friends. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Dr. Brandon Isaacs. We're also quite proud to have him as one of our associate deans. Earlier today, Colonel Isaacs led our military commissioning ceremony for 8 of our students, symbolizing the culmination of 4 years of study in military science. Each one has demonstrated their ability to master the art of leadership and tactics, and we're eager to accept their commissions. At this time, I'm going to invite Colonel Isaacs to the lectern and our 8 military students to the stage for the administration of the oath of office.
Students, please join me on stage. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your full name. Do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, that I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office of which I am about to enter. So help me God. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Isaacs. A sincere thank you to all the student speakers this year who truly represent all the caring and compassionate individuals who have completed our academic program. Pacific Northwest University College of Osteopathic Medicine is proud to be the first new health sciences university and College of Osteopathic Medicine in the Pacific Northwest in over 60 years. As of today, we will have graduated over 490 new physicians in our previous, this being the first class of 140 students per class. Previous classes were limited to 75 per class. Dozens of graduates are now completing residencies across the nation and returning to the Pacific Northwest to practice. As of last October, 82% of the alumni that have reported their practice sites are practicing in one of these 5 states. It does bring forth our mission and, in fact, our slogan to recruit, educate, and return brings it fully to life, and we appreciate their service to that mission. This afternoon is special in so many other ways. Today, we will mark another important milestone in the history of PNWU. It is our pleasure to bestow a presidential citation to a very special person to PNWU, Dr. John Bassett. Dr. Bassett, would you join me at the lectern, please? Great. I'm honored to present you with a citation which celebrates your career and your contributions to PNWU. In part, the citation reads, whereas Dr. Bassett has publicly promoted PNWU in the active community and the Pacific Northwest, he has supported the mission, vision, and values of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences. Therefore, the Board of Trustees of Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences pay tribute to John Bassett, PhD, and honors him for his extraordinary achievements and contributions with this presidential citation, awarded this 20th day of May, 2017.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very good.
To highlight statements from that citation, I will mention that Dr. Bassett is the president of Heritage University, Toppenish, Washington. His biography is available in your program, but I want to note several special points. John has served at several of the most prestigious posts in our United States educational system. As chairman of the Council on Higher Education Accreditation, the council that technically accredits the accreditors, this prestigious body works with the U.S. Department of Education to assure that accrediting bodies across the United States are adhering to rigorous and fair standards. Additionally, John has served as president of the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities, an organization that gives us all support in the DC area. On a more local level, John has advanced Heritage University's mission and stature while enhancing higher education on several Washington commissions and councils. Since his arrival in this valley in 2010, John has been an avid and staunch advocate for PNWU and a vocal supporter of our mission and vision. He has been a trusted advisor for our board, for Dr. Lloyd Butler as interim president, and for me as president of our institution. John's guidance has been invaluable in many circumstances, and he has clearly been a key advocate for our growth and progress. His support and collaboration have been instrumental in creating shared health education programs between Heritage University and us. John and Kay have become personal friends for Maureen and me and countless others in the Yakima Valley. It's my distinct honor to present this citation and thank him for his contributions to PNWU. It's also my pleasure to invite John to deliver our keynote address today. John?
Wow. Board members, faculty, administration, distinguished guests, especially our graduating students and their families. Wow, I knew I'd been invited to give the talk. I didn't know about this. To receive this citation from Pacific Northwest University is an amazing honor, because I cannot think of an organization or an institution that has made such a difference in the last 5 years to the Yakima Valley, to the state of Washington, and to the northwestern part of this country than Pacific Northwest University. So it is a special honor. It was a special honor to be invited to offer some words of congratulations and challenge to you, the largest class ever to graduate from Pacific Northwest University. Then I got a feeling as I was waiting to speak, you know, that Priya and Ben and Stacy said it all. I'm not really sure how anybody else can get up after that and make a talk that adds anything to what they said. But it is a special honor to be asked to speak here, partly because I feel I've been connected to the university, not quite since its birth. I was still in New England when it was born, but certainly since PNWU was old enough to go to daycare and preschool. And it truly is one of the most wonderful stories in American education. It's also that I stand here saying, what in the world is an English teacher doing lecturing over 130 new osteopathic physicians on what they should do as they go out to make America a healthier place? It reminds me a little bit of when I was asked by a national organization of chief financial officers to address them. They asked me, would you compare being president of a university, I was president of Clark University then, with being president of a corporation? Now, when Kay heard about that, she said, what the heck do you know about being president of a corporation? See, she comes out of the business world, technology management, in fact. But I said, dear, there are ways in which the roles are different, and there are ways in which they're alike. And in fact, there are greater differences within the categories and between them. Being president of a small company and being president of General Motors. Being president of Pacific Lutheran or the University of Michigan. I think I enjoyed that talk as much as any I've ever given. But in reflecting on today's challenge, I could not help but focus on one similarity connecting my current work with your career. Now, this is not my work as an English teacher. I'd love to talk with you about Mark Twain or William Faulkner, but I'm not here to do that today. But what connects my current work with your work and your career is change, C-H-A-N-G-E. You are entering a profession that is as ancient as Hippocrates and Galen, that still has the humane idealism of Andrew Taylor Still, but that is also changing at a pace that can make the profession from which you will retire one day unrecognizable from the one you're entering today. Yes, I know you'll still be treating patients. I'm reminded that it was exactly 125 years ago, 1892, that the university in Kirkville, Missouri, bearing Andrew Taylor Still's name today, was founded with a different name, we know. And I'm also reminded that as we talk about equity in healthcare and social justice, as Priya did so profoundly, that Dr. Still in the 1850s was a fervent abolitionist and an ally of John Brown at the time of Bleeding Kansas, a true rabble-rouser. In higher education, we may trace our roots not to Hippocrates and Galen, but to Plato and Aristotle and great universities of the Middle East and Europe. And we may nostalgically remember our four-year residential experience at places like Ohio Wesleyan, where Kay and I met. But the landscape of higher education is very different now from when we went to college. And unless you come to grips with the impact of technology in so many ways, of globalization, of new delivery systems, and new providers of courses like Straighterline or Capella, of new kinds of credentials such as badges and certificates, of the for-profit sector, of a very new demographic of students progressing through college at different rates, of community colleges, of the disaggregation of faculty roles, and much more. Unless you come to grips with all this, you'll not understand higher education in the new century. And in medicine, wow, I don't need to tell you graduates the impact of biomedical research on medical care. There's so much more available to keep people alive and healthy to an advanced age. And as wonderful as this has been, it's also created major economic issues, major ethical conundrums not thought of before, and political issues undreamt of a century ago. And that is just medical and health knowledge. Think of the impact on medical treatment. Yes, I grew up in an age when house calls were common. I understand they may be coming back. But in any case, the physician handled most of the treatment. Visit a doctor's office today or a dentist, and most of the time you'll be with the medical assistant, lab tech, nurse, physician assistant, and others before you ever see the physician. I also realize that in the rural world to which we are committed, you may not have that cast of thousands. You may be lucky to have one, and it may not be the physician. But in an age when laser and other surgery can be conducted with hundreds of miles between patient and surgeon, it's hard to argue that medical treatment has not changed. And that's hardly to mention the relationship between the general practitioner and the specialist. Beyond research and treatment, there are enormous changes in medical management, medical economics. You may start out as a physician and then end up needing an MBA because you have an opportunity to manage an office of 10 physicians. You may end up getting frustrated with your profession because you spend more time doing paperwork than treating patients, regardless of whether you have Obamacare or Trump care or other care. What's actually frustrating to me about the political dialogue on healthcare is that fundamentally it's disconnected from healthcare realities. Serious addressing of healthcare disparities and healthcare costs does not seem able to take place because it would disrupt the political rhetoric that seems to win elections, or that people of both parties believe wins elections. Anyone running a hospital or a clinic or even engaged in the insurance industry recognizes that most healthcare bills brought forward in national or state legislatures are based on very little analysis of their consequences on people or their impact on delivery of care. But perhaps healthcare is not any different from other major issues. I think, for example, about current debates on and electioneering about the economy. It all seems to come to revolve around economic nationalism and trade deals, and whether we ought to be in NAFTA or the Pacific Trade Partnership. I do not mean to say those things are not important. They are, but the 50,000 jobs some politicians say are coming back to old industries like steel and coal are not coming back. They're gone. And if they did come back, it would be with robots handling 80% of the jobs. And the major culprit is not foreign countries, it's technology and robotics. And we are doing nothing to answer the question of what kind of work we should educate people for in the next century when many of the current jobs do not exist. I include all this today, not because you're involved in world trade, actually you are, but because you're in a profession rapidly and profoundly changing. I implore you to help make our national dialogue about healthcare relevant to our conditions. A just society requires more just healthcare, and you will be in a position to make a difference. Particularly in rural America, so much a focus at PNWU and in osteopathic medicine, we are so aware of healthcare disparities. We know that healthcare cannot be disentangled from poverty, from weak education, from transportation issues. We know that recognizing the social determinants of health is just as important as recognizing the value of interprofessional medical education and practice, a current theme song for your university and mine. Let us make sure that in the next generation, we're not merely the victims of change in healthcare, but use change to improve healthcare. One of the strengths of many osteopathic graduating classes is that the students have often followed zigzag courses to get where they are, perhaps through several majors and jobs and locations and even careers. They may bring diverse experiences to their profession. I'm reminded of the wonderful talk given by David Epstein in this year's Town Hall series. Those of you who heard him may recall the story he told of the soccer moms and dads obsessed with getting their child into the most elite soccer camp at 10 years old because of the promise that that kid would then become an Olympic champion at 20. But you know what? Research on the best soccer players in the world at 20 showed that almost none had been elite players at 10. Rather, they had participated in several sports and had built up their bodies in multiple ways that better prepared them starting at about age 15 to focus on soccer and to become a star because of a more diversely developed body and muscles. So have many of you prepared yourselves to be even greater physicians by the varied experiences you bring to your DO education. For remember, the practice of medicine is not a science. It uses science broadly and deeply, but the practice itself is an art, a profoundly humanistic art that you master by bringing to it all of yourself, all of your experience, as well as all of your knowledge. As I tell my undergraduates, their 4 years in college mean they know a few things, but mostly they have learned how to learn and how to keep learning. In a world of rapid change, being engaged in lifelong learning and developing the ability to manage change are the keys to success. Many of my heritage undergraduates will go on to hold jobs that today do not even exist. In the same way, I can tell osteopathic medical grads, you know a good deal about treating patients, but I trust you've also learned how to keep learning. For your world of medical knowledge, medical treatment and medical management will go through transformations not yet imagined. With the right frame of mind, it will be exciting, not terrifying, even if a little bit terrifying. And no matter how much it changes, however, medicine, like all professions, depends on relationships and trust. Your relationships, as Dr. Scott said earlier, with patients, with fellow physicians, with nurses, with other healthcare providers, and with your public, will be built on trust. When that is lost, you do not have much left. I've learned that some of you have come to the osteopathic profession a little later in life. You're not all 25 or 26 years old. I have a special place in my heart for such students, and it's because of my sister, who's one of my heroes. My sister, Mary Ann, was a high school dropout. Well, let me start at the beginning. We're back in 1951, long before any of you were born. She's my older sister. One day she brought home a boyfriend that our parents found totally unacceptable. They told her she could never bring that boy home again. So what did a bright 17-year-old girl do in that situation back then? She ran off and married him and dropped out of school. 2 little girls, and a few years later, the marriage broke up and she married one of his best friends on the rebound. A 3rd little girl came along, and at least unlike the first husband, the second was willing to get a job. Mary Ann found work as a secretary while raising her 3 daughters. A few years later, as she was working in a Washington, D.C. office, her manager came to her and said, "Mary Ann, you seem like a very intelligent young woman. How come you're doing this work?" She replied, "Well, I do not have a high school diploma." Huh? After the shock wore off, they encouraged her to complete her GED, and as she was approaching 30 then, to begin Montgomery Junior College. She did well, and along the way, she received support from a number of supervisors. One of them was Glenn Seaborg, the director of the Atomic Energy Commission, actually. She was encouraged to go on to a 4-year degree. And so in her 30s, she matriculated at George Washington University, where our parents had also gone. So she was going to college, raising 3 daughters, holding a job, and with a husband not too keen on her getting all this education stuff. To make a long story short, Mary Ann graduated from George Washington with a 3.8 average and a major in physics. It's especially interesting that all her life, Mary Ann avoided science like the plague. And then in junior college, she was required to take a science course. So she signed up for astronomy. She decided that wasn't so bad after all, so she took another. And it wasn't bad either, and so she took another and went on to major in physics. The physics department wanted her to go into the doctoral program, and she almost did. But she had become fascinated with issues on the biological side. So she entered the doctoral program in physiology at George Washington University in the med school and completed a PhD in cardiovascular physiology. She went on to a position at Wright State University Medical School and was deeply engaged in the biological side of space science. When, after getting tenure, Mary Ann left Wright, she went to Cape Canaveral, and for the rest of her career, she was engaged with the astronauts, with NASA, and with space science in Cape Canaveral, Houston, and Washington, D.C. The favorite award she ever received was the Silver Snoopy Award. It's given by astronauts to the science they most like to work with. Among her projects was that NeuroLab project when all those mice and rats went up in space. She was the project scientist. So there is my story of the high school dropout that goes on to a career as a cardiovascular physiologist with NASA. Some of your stories I know are just as moving. I urge all of you to go forth to a successful career, a meaningful life, and the joy of knowing you have made a real difference in the lives of your patients, the health of your community, the standards of your profession, and the careers of those younger osteopathic physicians who will look up to you as their role model. Thank you.
Hang in there. How you guys doing up there, okay? Good. Thank you, Dr. Bassett. Now it is time to recognize our graduates who are achieving a personal milestone by earning the Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degree. And out of respect, I'll even skip this page. Thank you. Graduates, before we award you the degree you've worked so very hard to earn, please stand and say thank you to everyone in this audience who has supported you during this educational endeavor. I also want to give everyone the opportunity to thank another group of individuals who have been very important. I know you are grateful to the PNWU COM faculty and staff in Yakima and the over 1,200 clinical faculty throughout the Pacific Northwest. These men and women were not only your teachers, your mentors, and your advisors, but in many cases, they were your champions as they push you to earn your degree. They are among the key reasons for your success, and I know you have valued their care, their concern, and their valuable contributions to your education. I would ask at this time that the faculty here in Yakima and throughout the region, preceptors and staff from the College of Osteopathic Medicine, please stand to be recognized. Graduates, please take a moment to express your gratitude to these outstanding men and women. In a few minutes, 132 graduates from the class of 2017 will become doctors of osteopathic medicine. Our graduates come from many different backgrounds with widely diverse interests, yet they all have something in common: intelligence, motivation, compassion, and a commitment to becoming an exceptional physician. Dr. Watson, Dr. Bilski, would you please join me at the lectern? Candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine, please stand. Chairman Larson, President Watson, Provost Bilski, honored guests, families, and friends, based on the recommendation of the esteemed faculty, it is my pleasure and privilege as the Chief Academic Officer of the College of Osteopathic Medicine to present these candidates for the conferral of their Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine degrees. These students exemplify dedication and perseverance, which are hallmarks of the values inherent in the field of osteopathic medicine.
As the Chief Academic Officer of the University, and upon the recommendation of the faculty and the Dean of the College of Osteopathic Medicine, I recommend these candidates for the degree of Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine. Congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Skandalis and Dr. Bilski. By the state of Washington, authority vested in the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree Doctor of Osteopathic Medicine with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. As part of this tradition, you have selected 4 of your faculty members to be your honorary hooders. Dr. William Elliott, Chair of Biomedical Sciences and Professor. Dr. Tom Edlin, Regional Assistant Dean of Yakima and Assistant Professor. Dr. Emily A. Strike, Chief of Physiology and Associate Professor. And Dr. Myrna Ramos-Diaz, Assistant Professor of Family Medicine. Congratulations to you all. Please be seated. Doctors, please proceed to the stage to receive your diplomas.
Dr. Julian Mendes, traditional rotating internship, Port St. Lucie, Florida. I'm being hooded by my father, Dr. Fred Mendes.
Dr. Andrew Kowalski, General Surgery, McLaren-Macomb in Michigan, and my guest hooder is my father, Dr. James Kowalski.
Dr. Christine Kolwitz, I will be doing general surgery at St. Barnabas Hospital in the Bronx, New York. And today I'm getting hooded by my mom, Dr. Ann Kolwitz, and my uncle, Dr. Mike Duchon, who's standing in for my father, Dr. Phil Duchon.
Hey, Dr. Teresa Halley. I'm going into general surgery at Cape Fear Valley Medical Center in Fayetteville, North Carolina. And this is my father, Dr. Franklin Halley, hooding me today.
Dr. Tyler Girdler, East Pierce Family Medicine. I'm my beautiful wife, Ashley Girdler, hooding me today.
Dr. Lindsay Tanaka, Pediatrics, University of Arizona. I'm being hooded by my incredible father, Dr. Stephen Tanaka.
Dr. Natasha D'Souza Flagg, Family Medicine, East Pierce Family Medicine in Puyallup, Washington. And I'm being hooded by my mom, Dr. Tammy D'Souza Dio.
Dr. Margot Chan, Family Medicine, Community Healthcare, Tacoma, Washington. I'm being hooded by my dad, Dr. Gregory Chan.
Dr. Alexa Nicole Solarian, Internal Medicine, Skagit Regional in Mount Vernon, Washington. I'm being hooded by my mother, Dr. Maria Solarian.
Dr. Katie Camerata. I'm going into family medicine in Missoula, Montana. This is my father, Dr. Chris Camerata.
Dr. John Kim, Internal Medicine, San Antonio Medical Center. I'm proud to be hooded by my aunt, Dr. Susan Chung.
Dr. Daniel Kim, Internal Medicine, Naval Medical Center, San Diego. And this is my father, Dr. Wayne Kim.
Dr. Brian Baker, transitional year, Indiana University Health Ball Memorial Hospital in Muncie, Indiana, being hooded by my brother, Dr. Drawson Baker.
Dr. Danielle Welch, Anesthesiology, Michigan State University, Lansing, Michigan, and I'm being hooded by my dad, Dr. Dan Welch.
Dr. Riley Fisher, pediatrics combined with emergency medicine, University of Arizona, Tucson, Arizona, and I'm being hooded by my dad, Dr. Steve Fisher.
Dr. Elena Simpson, I'll be doing general surgery at Oklahoma State University Medical Center in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I'm being hooded today by my sister, Dr. Jessica McFall.
Dr. Lemuel Cibulo, I'm going into anesthesiology in St. Louis University at St. Louis, Missouri. And I'm going to be hooded today by my mom, Adelita Cibulo, MD.
Dr. Megha Patel, OBGYN, and I'll be at University of California, Riverside, in Riverside, California. And I'm being hooded by my father, Dr. Rajesh Patel.
Dr. Alexandra Ostromecki, Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation, Michigan State, Lansing, Michigan, and I'm being hooded by my parents today, Dr. Christopher Ostromecki and Dr. Elżbieta Ostromecki.
Dr. Nguyen Ngọc Bao Nguyen. I'm going to OBGYN at President's Resurrection in Chicago, Illinois, and I'm being hooded by my sister, Dr. Bao Nguyen Puente.
Dr. Andy Jones. I'm going into family medicine at the University of Texas in Austin. These are my parents, Doctors Kathleen and Charlie Jones, who are going to be hooding me today. Thank you.
Dr. Tien Ho, General Surgery, Genesis Regional Medical Center, Grand Blanc, Michigan.
Dr. Hunter Clifton Spencer, Internal Medicine, Oregon Health Sciences University, Portland, Oregon.
Dr. Brandon Bilyeu, going into family medicine in Kalispell, Montana.
Dr. Raya McKinley, a transitional internship, Port St. Lucie, Florida.
Dr. Michael Polis, family medicine in Searcy, Arkansas.
Dr. Erica Polis, General Surgery Prelim at University of Colorado, Denver.
Dr. Patrick Fox, family medicine, the Wright Center in Auburn, Washington.
Dr. Jonathan Bale, Psychiatry, Corvallis, Oregon.
Dr. Brooke Ashcraft, Family Medicine, Skagit Valley Hospital, Mount Vernon, Washington.
Dr. Tanya Lawrence, Family Medicine, Idaho State University in Pocatello, Idaho.
Dr. Olivia Marie Orteza, going into internal medicine at Valley Hospital Medical Center, Vegas, Nevada.
Dr. Catherine Wyrick, Traditional Rotating Internship, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Dr. Audrey O'Connor, I'll be practicing internal medicine at Sparrow Hospital, Lansing, Michigan.
Dr. Michael Leroy, Emergency Medicine, Naval Medical Center, San Diego.
Dr. Colin Kenny, Internal Medicine, Triple R Army Medical Center, Honolulu, Hawaii.
Dr. Kevin Yo, Family Medicine, Du Bois, Pennsylvania.
Dr. Harrison Fleming, Internal Medicine, San Antonio Military Medical Center.
Dr. Megan Cook, Family Medicine, Nellis Air Force Base, Las Vegas, Nevada.
Dr. Brian Davis, Transitional Internship, William Beaumont Army Medical Center in El Paso, Texas.
Dr. Stacy Rittmuller, Family Medicine, Tacoma Family Medicine here in Washington.
Dr. Benjamin Michael Benitez, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Doctors Hospital, Columbus, Ohio.
Dr. Priya Paneer-Selvam, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Doctors Hospital, Columbus, Ohio.
Dr. V. Nguyen, Internal Medicine in Palmetto General Hospital in Florida.
Dr. Aubrey Siegel, East Pierce Family Medicine, Puyallup, Washington.
Dr. Muogo, East Pierce Family Medicine, Puyallup, Washington.
Dr. Alejandro Wolf, Anatomic and Clinical Pathology, Omaha, University of Nebraska Medical Center.
Dr. Cindy Tran, going into internal medicine in Mountain View Regional Medical Center, New Mexico.
Dr. Jason Sariski, Family Medicine in the near future.
Dr. Anthony Robert Hafez, Traditional Rotating Internship, University of Pittsburgh Medical Center in Altoona, Pennsylvania.
Dr. Wilfredo Henriquez will be training internal medicine at the University of New Mexico, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Dr. Evgeny Alexandrovich Pastrika, I'm going to be training internal medicine at the UW Boise VA Medical Center.
Dr. Aaron Price, I'm going to be training internal medicine at Skagit Valley Health in Mount Vernon, Washington.
Dr. Jenna Uvalli, I'll be doing family medicine at Wheeling Hospital in Wheeling, West Virginia.
Dr. Aileen Larson, I'm going to be going into otolaryngology and facial plastic surgery, Detroit Medical Center, Detroit, Michigan.
Dr. Scott Tates, going into family medicine in Providence Sacred Heart in Spokane, Washington.
My name is Dr. Jessie Samantha Davis. I will be practicing emergency medicine at Desert Regional Medical Center in Palm Springs, California.
Dr. Tracy Taylor,
Family Medicine at Natividad Medical Center in Salinas, California.
Dr. Benjamin Cho will be going to General Surgery of Oregon Health and Science University in Portland, Oregon.
Dr. Tawfiq Riaz Ali Rajwani, General Surgery, Virginia Mason.
Dr. William Alexander Laheka, Larkin Community Hospital, South Miami, Florida.
I'm Dr. Daniel Evans Hines, going into emergency medicine at St. Elizabeth Hospital in Boardman, Ohio.
I'm Dr. Eric Arnitz, Emergency Medicine, Lakeland Regional Medical Center, St. Joseph, Michigan.
Dr. Austin Brown, going into emergency medicine, Adena Health, Chillicothe, Ohio.
Dr. Lindsay Smith, Emergency Medicine, St. Elizabeth Hospital, Boardman, Ohio.
Dr. Cullen Owen, Internal Medicine, Bay State Medical Center, Springfield, Massachusetts.
Dr. Marcus Fazzari, Emergency Medicine, Lakeland Regional Medical Center, St. Joseph, Michigan.
Dr. Spencer Augustine, Psychiatry, Mill Creek Community Hospital, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Dr. Andrew Smith, Internal Medicine, Skyridge Medical Center in Denver, Colorado.
Dr. Priyanka Atri, Internal Medicine, Vegas, Nevada, Valley Hospital.
Dr. Catherine Alfonso, Physical Medicine and Rehabilitation at Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota.
Dr. Nari McVeigh, Psychiatry, University of Washington, Seattle.
Dr. Dao Hong Ming, Family Medicine, Valley Medical Center, Renton, Washington.
Dr. Jenny Lay, Family Medicine, Skagit Regional, Washington.
Dr. Dolly Doe, Family Medicine, right here in Yakima, Washington.
Dr. Danielle Feldhaus, General Surgery, Hackensack, New Jersey.
Dr. Rachel Ann Pontemayor, Family Medicine, also here in Yakima, Washington.
Dr. Aline Macomb de los Santos, Internal Medicine, Hemet Valley Medical Center at Hemet, California.
I'm Dr. Kathleen McGovern Postlethwaite, and I'll be starting family medicine at OSU in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
I'm Dr. Jason Postlethwaite. I'll be starting family medicine in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Dr. Emily Stratton, Emergency Medicine, State University of New York at Syracuse, New York.
Dr. Jeff Armley, Internal Medicine at Skagit Valley Health in Mount Vernon, Washington.
Dr. Brandon Way, Family Medicine, Southeastern Health, Lumberton, North Carolina.
Dr. Timothy Rinden, Internal Medicine at Hennepin County Medical Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Dr. Corey Scott Pickett, Traditional Rotating Internship, Harnett County, North Carolina.
Dr. Angela Leitner, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Inspira Health Network, Vineland, New Jersey.
Dr. Rebecca Fox, Obstetrics and Gynecology, Grand Rapids Medical Education Partners in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Dr. Danielle Kussmeider, specializing in pediatrics at the University of Nebraska Medical Center in Omaha, Nebraska.
Dr. Sharisa Hobbs Meredith, Obstetrics and Gynecology, University of Michigan, Metro Health, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Dr. Ryan Starr, Emergency Medicine, Cape Fear Valley Medical Center, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Dr. Michael Fox, Anesthesiology at Loyola Medical Center, Maywood, Illinois.
Dr. Ben Miller, Physical Medicine and Rehab, Georgetown University National Rehab Hospital, Washington, D.C.
Dr. Dennis James Heaton, Diagnostic Radiology, University of Kansas, Kansas City, Kansas.
Dr. Shannon Seckel, Pediatrics at Texas Tech University Medical Center and Covenant Children's Hospitals in Lubbock, Texas. Dr. Carolyn Ranton, Pediatrics at the University of Connecticut in Hartford, Connecticut.
Dr. Caitlin Berg, Pediatrics, Southern Illinois University, Springfield, Illinois.
Dr. Ethan Berg, Family Medicine, Southern Illinois University, Springfield, Illinois.
Dr. Jennifer Mack Swords, Neuromuscular Medicine, Kirksville, Missouri.
Dr. Rebecca Fuller, Radiology, Wollongong, Australia.
I'm Dr. Sarah Ramquist. I'm going into neurology at Grandview Medical Center, Dayton, Ohio.
Dr. James McMullen, Family Medicine in Searcy, Arkansas.
I'm Dr. Joseph Owen Paul Beck, traditional internship in Jefferson City, Missouri.
Dr. Adam Reno, Family Medicine at the University of Nevada, Reno in Reno, Nevada.
Dr. Daniel Hoffman, Family Medicine, Lumberton, North Carolina.
Dr. Justin Jerem Watkins, Montana Family Medicine in Billings, Montana.
Dr. Chris Perez, East Pierce Family Medicine, Puyallup, Washington.
Dr. Stephanie Landreth, Family Medicine, Erie, Pennsylvania.
Dr. Aaron Sweeter, Pediatrics, Des Moines, Iowa.
Dr. Helena Pang, Trios Health, Kennewick, Washington.
Dr. Alexei Tagitsev, Transitional Medical Research at OHSU and Health Science University, Portland, Oregon.
Dr. Carlos Emanuel Vargas, Internal Medicine, Corpus Christi Medical Center, Bay Area, and Corpus Christi, Texas.
Dr. Ben Kegi, Central Washington Family Medicine in Ellensburg.
Dr. Aaron DePreckle, Family Medicine with Osteopathic Manipulation, Jackson, Michigan.
Dr. Caitlin Lund, General Surgery, Des Moines, Iowa.
Dr. Jessa Drania, Psychiatry, Tulane University, New Orleans, Louisiana.
Dr. Kim Venata, Internal Medicine, Trios Health, Kennewick, Washington.
Dr. Karika Rachel Banda, Family Medicine, Auburn, Washington.
Dr. Malik Nizamuddin, Internal Medicine at Skagit Valley Hospital in Mount Vernon, Washington.
Dr. Esther Muzzer, Family Medicine, Skagit Regional Health, Mount Vernon, Washington.
Woo! Worked long for this. Thanks, babe. I am Dr. Dustin Brown, Family Practice. I'm right here in Central Washington Medicine, Yakima.
Dr. Kelby Arden Hempel, Internal Medicine, McLaren Greater Lansing, Lansing, Michigan.
Dr. Lauren Elizabeth Delana. I'll be training in obstetrics and gynecology at Botsford Hospital in Farmington Hills, Michigan.
Dr. Courtney Certain, internal medicine, Riverside Methodist Hospital in Columbus, Ohio.
Dr. Mercedes Miley, anesthesiology, Albany Medical Center, Albany, New York.
Dr. Amber McDonald, I'll be training in internal medicine at Valley Hospital Medical Center in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Dr. Anna Kenny, I'll be training internal medicine in University of Rochester, Rochester, New York.
Dr. Satabi Chakrabarty Hudson, I'll be training in neurology at Geisinger Medical Center in Danville, Pennsylvania.
Dr. Ryan Blazer, I'm doing a traditional rotating internship in Hackensack, New Jersey.
Dr. Brett McBride, General Surgery, Mountain Vista Medical Center, Mesa, Arizona.
Dr. Weston Mark Anderson, Michigan State University, or Psychiatry, Michigan State University, Pine Rest Christian Mental Health, Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Dr. Benjamin Gary May, Family Medicine, Providence St. Peter Hospital in Olympia, Washington.
Dr. Scott Syndergaard, traditional internship, Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Well, this is a wonderful and a joyous occasion today. There is one somber side. One member of the class of 2017 passed away during his fourth year, would be Dr. Chris Traz, and our thoughts are with him and his family at this time. The faculty and the staff have been honored to work with the members of the class of 2017. They watched with admiration as they learned the foundations of science and medicine in their first 2 years. In their clinical rotation years, they observed a remarkable transformation as they assumed the roles and responsibilities of student physicians. This has been an exciting and inspiring journey to witness, but the best is yet to come. Over the next 3 or more years, our graduates will further their knowledge through residency training in their chosen specialties. At a time when our nation is recognizing the need to recruit and retain outstanding family physicians, we are proud that 56% of the graduates will pursue primary care as a career, including 81% of graduates who choose the generalist care specialties of family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, OBGYN, psychiatry, emergency, and general surgery. Our graduates will train in a diversity of medical specialties. These include 8 physicians who will serve in the military. We salute their service to our country in difficult times. We take great pride in all of our graduates. Each new PNWU College of Osteopathic Medicine graduate will take with him or her the respect, integrity, and compassion that is the heart of osteopathic medicine. Wherever they train, we will be forever proud that they are doctors of osteopathic medicine and that they represent the Pacific Northwest University of Health Sciences College of Osteopathic Medicine. Platform party, would you please remain seated for about 15 seconds. And now, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the University and the College of Osteopathic Medicine, I present to you the graduating class of 2017. Great. I think it's time. I have a feeling you're not done. Doctors, please prepare to take the osteopathic physician's oath. The osteopathic oath is a contemporary version of the oath of Hippocrates. It affirms values central to all physicians and surgeons. We invite all physicians in our audience to stand and honor our new graduates by reciting the oath with them. The oath appears on the back of your program. Now, doctors, if you would please join in saying the oath along with me. I, Thomas Scandalis, hereby affirm my loyalty to the profession I'm about to enter. I will be mindful always of my great responsibility to preserve the health and the life of my patients, to retain their confidence and respect, both as a physician and a friend, who will guard their secrets with scrupulous honor and fidelity, to perform faithfully my professional duties, to employ only those recognized methods of treatment consistent with good judgment and with my skill and ability, keeping in mind always nature's laws and the body's inherent capacity for recovery. I will be ever vigilant in aiding in the general welfare of the community, sustaining its laws and institutions, not engaging in those practices which will in any way bring shame or discredit upon myself or my profession. I will give no drugs for deadly purposes to any person, though it be asked of me. I will endeavor to work in accord with my colleagues in a spirit of progressive cooperation, and never by word or by act cast imputations upon them or on their rightful practices. I will look with respect and esteem upon all those who have taught me my art. To my college I will be loyal and strive always for its best interests and for the interests of the students who will come after me. I will be ever alert to further the application of basic biologic truths to the healing arts and to develop the principles of osteopathy which were first enunciated by Andrew Taylor Still. In the presence of this gathering, I bind myself to this oath. Congratulations, doctors. And finally, we ask that you remain seated until the marshals have led the platform party, the faculty, the mentors, and the graduates from the theater. Following the completion of the sessional, this ceremony will be adjourned. As we conclude today's ceremony, I'd like for each new doctor to consider how you're going to ultimately define success in your chosen specialty and how you'd like to be judged by your patients and remembered by your colleagues. Winston Churchill once said, we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Congratulations, be well, and have a wonderful life.